Hey everybody, it's Adele and April from Just Say Scrap, and we are here at Throw It Together Thursday. So we are taking our last 4 techniques and we're creating an awesome slimline card, so make sure you see our video. So here we are with Throw It Together Thursday, and we are going to be doing our last 4 techniques.
Yep, our watercolor splatters, our shadow stamping, our vellum ombre, and our tone-on-tone stenciling.
Woohoo. So we're going to start with the ombre stenciling. Or ombre. Wow.
Vellum ombre.
Thank you. The vellum ombre. So we have our sapphire ink here. And how we're going to do this ombre is I'm literally only going to take the sapphire and just make it dark on the outside and nothing on the inside. You could use linen or something like that too. But I'm just kind of using the outside of this. And then I'm going to use a different part of the sponge. Trying not to get my hands too messy. And I'm going to fade it inward.
And because vellum is more
Porous?
I was going to say porous too, but I'm not sure if that's the right thing. Non-porous, I would think, is because...
oh man, I was trying to avoid getting inky. Oh well.
You're allowed to do that because on regular paper, that would have just sucked right in.
Yep. So you're going to get inky if you're going to do this. So there is our, there you can see it. It's ombre. So that's fun. Okay, we're going to clean off our all-purpose mat here. I'm going to throw some water on here.
I was going to say.
All right. Perfect. Now that's clean. And maybe I'll clean off my finger a little. Okay, so our next thing, what do we have? We had our, okay, I'm going to do some watercolor splatters. So we are taking our Slimline card and our watercolors here. And I'm going to do a few different colors. So if you remember our Distress Oxides that we used, I'm going to match these Distress Oxides a little. So I'm going to take number 13. I'm not sure if you can see that. Number 13 right here. And take a little bit of 13. Remember with these you want to get a little bit more color because it tends to start to get less colorful as you go. So I'm just going to splatter a little bit on this side. I'm going to then clean this. Best thing about watercolor brushes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Super easy clean. All right, and then I'm going to take number 22 here, which goes right into there, so I think you can see this part, maybe not the actual watercolor. 22. I'm attempting to get the edges of my card here. You can even ombre these, isn't that fun? And then I'm going to get the one that looks like the sapphire, which I'm assuming is 25. It's the darkest blue on here. Just right here. The back of my card might have like splatters all over it. Because I'm just kind of like swiping it into it. To be honest, my whole table does have splatters on it. Oh well. Fun of crafting.
You'll have swipes of color. Actually, that might look cute on the back.
It might.
Your splatters are...
Well, it's going to be covered a little bit, so it's fine. No, it's not too bad, actually. I thought it was going to be a lot more than... Yeah, some of my splatters at the end there got a little too watery. But that's okay. They're splatters. That's what they're supposed to look like. Okay, so remember our Distress Oxide colors. We had our Chipped Sapphire, Mermaid Lagoon, and our Kitsch Flamingo. So we have this beautiful card. The splatters sometimes do take a little bit longer to dry. Just be aware of that. So I'm going to clean off my brush while waiting for them to dry a little bit more.
If you have a heating tool, you could probably heat it up to dry it a little faster.
Yep. All right, then I'm going to take my Close to My Heart adhesive. Remember this from last week? Super pretty. So we just splattered, so it kind of looks similar on the outside. It does lose it a little bit. Should I trim this down a little?
If you
Just
want.
so we get a little bit more on the end?
Sure.
Just got some wet. Stress oxides don't like water, so remember that. So this was a 3 1/4 by 8 1/4 because our cards are 3 1/2 by 8 1/2. So I cut it down to a 3 by 8, which that's better, right? Because now you can see the splatters. All right, so we're going to use our adhesive. Glue this down. All right, perfect. So that's 3 of our techniques, right? No, 2. 1, 2.
2.
That's 2 of them. All right.
Yes,
Oh, 3 because of the vellum. What happened to my vellum? I found it.
Yay!
Yay. Okay. But do we want to try the splatters on top of this?
What do you think?
I think we're gonna try it. I think we're gonna experiment, and we're gonna actually redo our splatters a little bit.
Yes.
Put some on
not so
top.
wet though.
No, because they will react, but it's gonna be a color reaction, which is what I want. Sorry, I got some blue in my pink, just cleaning it out here. That's what's cool about watercolors, right? You can just clean it. Oops, didn't get enough color. You told me not as watery, and I got nothing. I actually think that's going to look real cool. Do you see it?
Yep.
Because the ones that are lighter are reacting to the Distress Oxide, while the colorful ones are remaining. This is what I like about Technique Tuesday. Like, we experiment with these things because we have no idea how they're going to turn out either. Why are you laughing?
Because I knew that was going to happen.
Hey! Trying my hardest here. Oh, this ran out of water. So we'll have to clean that later. But that's cool because look, see how some spots are like wet and then some spots are colorful?
Yes. Some they are reacting because they're getting lighter as they dry.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so our next thing is our vellum here. I like to put vellum down with glue dots, but only where it's going to be covered, because when you like use vellum, you can see through it with the glue. So that's going to go right here. But what we're going to do is we're going to take our Spring Greetings stamp and do our, what was it called? Shadow stamping.
Shadow stamping. I was like, what? What are you talking about?
My brain is everywhere. So we're going to stick with the same kind of patterns that we've been doing. This is brand new, so I've got to season it. I'm going to stick with my Sapphire. I know I have ink on my face.
Yes, you do.
Is it going to come off? I touched my face after doing something.
I hope so.
Oh, man. It's going to be in there for the video. Okay. So what I'm going to do with this is, I don't want to stamp right on the vellum. Or should I? That might look cool.
You could try stamping right on the vellum.
I'm going to try stamping on the vellum. So I'm going to do an ombre or a two-tone stamping. Then I'm going to stamp right on here and then do a second generation. So I might actually have to move this out of the camera just so I can get my head in here and look at it better. Not as much ink came off just because it was, see that?
But it still looks
But you can
cool.
still see it, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I should have done maybe like it on here first. But it still looks cool. I don't know if I love it. What do you think?
I think if you went a little straighter down.
Okay, I think what I'm going to do is, because that didn't work, instead of wasting it, I'm going to cut a piece of white daisy just to match over it, right?
Okay.
Just to make it easier. So when I had cut this, this was a 4 by 2.5. So I want spring to be about 1.5 inches by 3.
What happened if you put it underneath it?
I was thinking that too, but
Oh, I see.
then I want to cover that.
Right.
So you can always put it underneath it as well. So let's try this one more time. Once again, don't mind my head.
Yeah, so maybe with vellum you have to stamp it off twice.
Yeah,
before
because
you put it on there.
yeah, it's so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wanted it to say spring greetings.
Oh, I see.
So I have to get another block. What if I stamp greetings on here? And I cut that down a little further. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That actually will look really pretty. See, this is why we experiment when we do these things. It's all about experimenting and finding what we like. And now what I can do is I can just use my regular adhesive, glue this down on top of the vellum. It covers that. Just want to make sure this is straight. So it covers that like that. And then to glue this onto this, which has now been drying, I can just put adhesive behind there.
Right, you want to make sure that it doesn't go over there.
Actually, I'm going to put it,
right?
yeah, and I'm going to put it a little more this way because I don't like that splatter that I hit. So that's what's cool about this is you can kind of see through the vellum a little bit and kind of place it where you want it to be. I think that's really cool.
That's really cool.
That's all four, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, the watercolor splatters, the shadow stamping, the vellum ombre, and the tone-on-tone stenciling.
So, super cool. Do you like it better there, or do you think I should have moved it? I kind of like it in the pink, though. Right?
That's cool.
I'm going to put it here, and we're going to find a gem. Give me that heart. Give me that acrylic heart.
There you go.
Boop.
Perfect.
Yeah, I like that. Okay.
Glue dot.
Glue dots right here. Yay. That worked. So you can add gems, add some glue dots, whatever you want. But literally just because we did those 4 techniques, we came up with this. So I just think that's really cool. And that's Throw It Together Thursday. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, please let us know in the comments below. But this is what I really, really, really love about Throw It Together Thursday, because we would have never thought to take all of these techniques and use them in one card. Right. So it's a lot of fun being able to create and just throw things together and make it work. So we thought it worked. If you do any of these techniques and make a card, we would love to see them. So you can always post them on our Facebook page or on our blog. So yay. Remember, we talked about our weekends last 2 days ago. So for March and October. So we hope to see you there, and we'll see you next Tuesday when we're in Disney.
Bye.
Bye. Our last 4 techniques, which are going to be our watercutters. Our, I touched my face again.